You're assaulting them. You're letting people.
Teresa Bornfall was attending a Kootenai County Republican Central Committee Legislative Town Hall Saturday, discussing topics like Medicaid and school vouchers when she was forcibly removed from the meeting.
All of our elected officials in Kootenai County and surrounding areas are all Republican, and so that is why the Republican Party did the town hall. The auditorium was full.
Bornfall, who has previously run for a seat in the Idaho House as a Democrat, tried to ask a question during a discussion about reproductive rights. Her friends, Megan Kuntz and Tamara Saenz-Cremelis, tell KTVB legislators would not take the question.
They even used the words "shut up" at one point. And so, yes, she said, is this a lecture or a town hall?
There's an opportunity for you to sound off.
Bornfall was first approached by Sheriff Bob Norris.
My name is Robert Norris. I'm the Sheriff of County. We're asking you to leave on video. Please get up or be escorted out.
Sheriff Norris asked her to leave, then grabbed her.
Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
Let's go. You're going to be escorted out.
I just happen to have a nice offer on.
Okay, I'm asking you to go. You want pepper spray?
Then Norris called in 3 unmarked security officers.
Nobody knew who these people were that were assaulting her and pulling her away.
Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Show your badge. Who are you? Don't touch her.
They pulled her out of her seat.
And she wasn't doing anything threatening. She was sitting in her seat, not doing anything threatening.
And into the hallway while Sheriff Norris filmed. Kuntz and Saenz-Cremelis say the MC of the event spurred it on.
He called her a little girl multiple times. Also said, your voice is useless or doesn't want to be heard here.
Look at this. This little girl is afraid to leave. She spoke up.
Kuntz and Saenz-Cremelis, as well as Coeur d'Alene police, say Bornfall was cited. The battery charge stems from allegations that she bit one of the security officers.
In my opinion, that sounds like self-defense.
Kootenai County Republican Central Committee posted on Facebook saying Bornfall was arrested and that she disrupted the town hall and vocally cheered for any DEI initiatives.
It was evident that dissent was
Not being tolerated.
At one point, they had her shirt almost entirely off. Her undergarments were exposed. It was a terrifying situation that I never thought that I would witness at a public political event, a town hall.
Get up or be arrested.
Sheriff Bob Norris trying to lift Teresa Bornfall out of the chair after she refused. You see Sheriff Norris talk to the security guards.
Is he a deputy? These are deputies.
That's when Bornfall fought being removed. Security guards eventually get her to the ground. She was then dragged out of the auditorium.
She had to wait hours in the emergency room. She still is sore and has, scratches and bruises and everything that you would expect from what she went through.
But how did we get to this point?
There was several people that were interrupting, but Ms. Bornfall was the most vocal of them. We've got her on video no fewer than 7 times. Shouting out, interrupting, catcalling.
I asked Tennyson, who is sitting next to Bornfall, if that is true.
We chose to heckle instead and to shout out things that were true about what the legislators were telling us. We were told a couple times to stop. We did not stop because we wanted our voices to be heard. We weren't completely disrupting to the point where they couldn't speak.
Tennyson says they wanted their voices heard because she says the KCRCC picks and chooses the questions for the legislators. Regan says otherwise.
We go to audience questions, which are written out on 3x5 cards and then selected randomly and given to the master of ceremonies.
Police say Bornfall bit one of the security guards as they were trying to remove her. She was cited for battery, but that charge was rescinded after the prosecutor obtained more evidence. In the video, you can hear Bornfall ask the security guards who they are.
They had no marks on them showing that they were security.
Which, according to City Code 532, they must. In fact, police say the security company Lear Asset Management's business license was revoked because of it.
Were the security guards hired by the KCRCC or the high school?
They were volunteers.
They volunteered for you guys?
Yeah, they volunteered. They're known in the community, and they said we need some security. Oh, we'll help out.
I asked Tennyson what her message is to people who say they prompted this.
Yes, we were disruptive. Yes, we refused to leave when they asked us to. That is not justification for physical assault on a human being. Absolutely uncalled for, absolutely inappropriate the way they treated her.
You know, this is hitting national news now. It's all over social media. Looking at all the videos and stuff, do you think this should have been handled differently?
At the time, yeah, was there things that could have been done differently? Probably. But, you know, this isn't something that we've got a lot of experience in. We've done dozens of these town halls. We've never had an incident like this.
Remember when June from The Handmaid's Tale said, we didn't listen when they started taking away our rights? We didn't listen when they got rid of the Constitution. We didn't listen when they started unaliving politicians. She wasn't talking to the general public. She was talking to palm-colored women. Because what we saw at the town hall in Idaho is what June was talking about. That is now going to be the norm. When you from either side of the aisle, because remember, Serena wrote the same laws that ended up getting her finger chopped off when she said, no, I need more rights. I'm one of the good ones. Fred reminded her, you're just a woman. We're starting to see the starting of handmaids, because the amount of people who were like, oh, well, she's a Democrat. Serena was a Republican too. And now Serena has 9 fingers.
I'm still minding my black ass business, but white women, where's y'all fight? Where's y'all sisterhood? Where is y'all solidarity with one another? Y'all don't, oh Lord. I just watched that video about that motherfucking white woman who was yanked up out her seat at that town hall meeting like a pit bull. And you motherfuckers didn't do a damn thing. Y'all let 2 white men who are not law enforcement yank that woman out who was speaking up about abortion and said women are dying. And y'all let 2 white men. And then she was sitting up there talking about, I will call the police. I will call the police. I will call the sheriff. Baby, the sheriff wanted you out of that too. The same men you calling upon is the same men that's yanking your ass up out that seat. And y'all did absolutely nothing. Nothing. Not a damn thing. You could have threw a crochet needle at him. I don't know. Hit him with an Etsy barcode. Something. He yanked the sour cream out the dairy aisle and you bitches stood there and did nothing. And see, this is why so-called black women say, why would I get in the field with you? Because that would have never flew on Black Women Airlines. The plane would have never departed. There would have never been a route. The plane would have always been on the landing strip because it would have never flew. Not with black women. Black women would have stood on so much motherfucking business, you would have thought another franchise was being created. And y'all have not learned. Y'all should have learned when that group chat came out with 70,000 white men was talking about harming women and children, their own kids, their own wives, their own mothers, their own sisters. White men are loyal to themselves. And y'all keep having their babies, keep raising these monsters. Yeah. I just want to know when y'all gonna get in the field and break generational curses. But until, I'm just still gonna mind my black ass business. Anyway, black women, what y'all eat today?
Baby, I just seen that white woman being carried out by them white men at that town hall meeting in Idaho. Ain't no way in hell black woman would have allowed another black woman to be treated like that. No way. You sat there and you looked, you recorded, you yelled, but not none other white woman stood up to protect that lady. Your own. And then you consistently get on this app asking where are black women? Where are the 92%? Bitch at home. You think we're going to put our bodies on the line to go out there with y'all and y'all don't even protect your own? Bitch, that was disgraceful. That was a piss poor example of women supporting women. Bitch, every last black woman in that vicinity would have been on them niggas. You understand me? That was disgusting. For the women that sat there and watched these men carry her out and did nothing and thinking that you won't be next, bitch, why do you think we stand up for other black women in the street? Because we understand it could be us at any given point in time. We represent one another. We look at one another and we see each other in one another. And until y'all stop practicing this whole mentality of independence, bitch, do not look over here. That was nasty work.
The white Republican women that are going up to their city halls complaining about the administration that they voted for is only going to hurt their case when it comes to women needing their rights taken away and only allowing their husbands to vote, because y'all voted for this administration. All the signs were there. Now y'all are at your local city hall complaining to your local representatives and they're laughing in your face. I seen one clip where this white lady, she was on the mic. She really thought she was eating them up. She was like, well, the MAGA Knights are taking our stuff. What are you guys planning on doing? What are you planning on doing? Rah, 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 rah. Everybody who cheering and going on in the background. And as soon as she was done talking, that man took the mic and was like, y'all said the same thing about the Biden administration. God damn it, if he ain't lying. If he ain't. So he like, what you confused bitches wanted? You voted for them. You complain about the Biden administration. You complain about the Trump administration that you voted for.
So a white woman was dragged out of a town hall meeting in Idaho. A white woman was dragged out by her feet, her arms, and her hair by a group of at least 4 burly white men wearing black jackets and dark blue jeans. They were the militia. This happened at a Republican town hall. When we think about when this thing really popped off, like 20 years from now, when we start talking about when this thing popped off, I can almost guarantee you historians are going to refer to that moment. Historians are going to refer to the moment when a group of white men from the militia, the white militia in Idaho, they call them hired security. But we know, wink, wink, it's the militia in Idaho. They dragged her out because she refused to be silent. And not a single one of her neighbors in attendance came to her rescue. Not a single man and not a single woman stood up and said, no, you can't do this. We are citizens. We still have freedom of speech in this country. Nope. They didn't do that. They let a group of white men, the militia, drag her out. They recorded it. They took video, right? Because everybody likes to video, people being assaulted in this country, especially women. Y'all really love, making videos of women being assaulted and black people being assaulted. Y'all really love that. No one came to her rescue. No one intervened. Forget about political party. It was just wrong. At one point, you can hear one of the men assaulting her say, if you just relax and calm down, this would be a lot easier on you. And she responded with, and accurately so, that's what rapists say. Which I thought was Queen Chef's kiss. But when we return to this moment from the future and we talk about when did it pop off? At what moment did it pop off? This is going to be in the top 3.
This moment is going to be in the top 3. I knew that the moment that they started to have these town halls, that it was going to get ugly. I knew it was going to get ugly. Because you see, white people who voted for this administration, they did not anticipate white violence because they've never had to be on the receiving end of it. They've never truly been on the receiving end of it. How I know? The way that you all are responding to how you're being treated at these town hall meetings, which, you know, pound for pound, it's pretty damn mild in comparison to how black folks are treated. When we say, enough, stop, leave us alone. I just saw a video of a white guy saying, oh my God, what is going on? Is this still America? I want you to look up MOVE in 1978 and MOVE in 1985. The MOVE movement in West Philadelphia. In 1978, now to start with, let me just give you a little bit of a history. MOVE was a group of black radicals who lived in West Philadelphia. They considered themselves black radicals and environmentalists, right? They believed in, you know, living off the land, and people thought that they were weird and crunchy, and, you know, folks were like, these groups, they're freaking weirdos. Fine, you can believe that they're weirdos, but they're still human beings. They have a right to live, right? So there was a confrontation between members of the MOVE movement and the police in Philadelphia, in West Philadelphia. And people were unalived. Several MOVE members were unalived. Fast forward to 1985, there was another confrontation between MOVE, the police, and now the FBI. They wanted them out by any means necessary. So what did the city of Philadelphia do? They dropped the bomb on the MOVE headquarters, which was a group of row houses in Philadelphia. They dropped the bomb. They killed 11 people, including 5 children, all of them black, all of them members of the MOVE movement. Destroyed something like 60 homes. One survivor, Ramona Africa, she ultimately went to prison for a long time. They're still finding remnants from that bomb, body parts, meaning bones, bone fragments from the bombing of babies. So when you white people get on this app and say things like, oh my God, is this still America? Honey, it's always been America. You've just not been on the receiving end of white violence. White state violence. The ways in which black people have. That's why you're freaking out. And you should. Because it is no joke. Now we have the border czar threatening to bring hell to Boston. And we all know what that means. He's threatening to bring the military to an American city because it is a blue city led by people of color and women. And they don't like that. They think that's DEI. They don't like that. So he's threatening to bring the military to an American city. And if you think it is above this country to do the worst of the worst to us, you don't know history, baby. You don't know history. If you think for 1 second they would not start dropping again in some of these blue cities, you don't know
your country. The Republican Party just confirmed a gaggle of insurrectionists to lead law enforcement and the military in this country. And you're asking questions about, is this still America? This was always America. This has always been America, baby. Always. But you just don't know this side of America because you've not been on the receiving end of state white violence. But you're about to find out. You're about to find out. Black women in particular try to warn you and tell you, especially with white women, because I can't, 70% of white men who voted for this. So you are in danger, girl. White women, you are in danger. Your men, the men you sleep next to at night, the men that you give babies to, the men that you raise, the men that you love on and nurture, they voted for this to happen to you. What happened to that woman in Idaho? They voted for it. This is on you. You raised this. You nurtured this. You voted for this. Over 50% of you voted for this. You in danger, girl. That's why they didn't come to her rescue, because they voted for this. And this is going to happen a lot more frequently now. So to black women, stay your ass at home. Bloodshed is coming, but it will come a lot faster if we're out there. Stay your ass at home.
You're a white woman. I would love for you not to scroll. And if you are not a white woman, feel free to stay, obviously. But be nice, okay? There's a goal I'm trying to achieve here, and we gotta work together to do this shit. All right, back to the white women. Hi. I'm gonna need y'all to stand on business, okay? I really need y'all to do it, okay? And I know for a fact that a lot of y'all do, okay? I interact with y'all every day, okay? Because some of y'all some down bitches, okay? And I love that. But I'm gonna need y'all to not let anything like that Idaho town hall ever happen, okay? We just having a conversation on my other video talking about the Montgomery brawl that happened in 2023 when homie dude threw his hat up. That happened because black people saw a black man getting jumped by a whole bunch of white people and ran to his side to help. That woman that was dragged out of that town hall should never have been fighting them people by herself. Now, I understand that there's a nuance, and I'm sure, if I remember correctly, that town hall was very right-leaning and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. I'm saying white women specifically because the group of people that is working against all of us collectively are white men, okay? That being said, y'all are in the group with everybody else that's going to get fucked over if this shit continues going in the direction it is. And one thing that I need y'all to do is act like y'all know each other and love each other. Because until you do that, until you do that, we are not going to be fixing anything. We're not going to be able to get past anything. We're not going to be able to fight anything. We're not going to be able to do any of that shit. Because let me tell you something. If I saw a black woman get dragged out of the town hall like that, my ass would have jumped up. I don't care if I'm getting arrested. I'm fighting them off of her. And I guarantee you, me and all the other black women with me are going to do the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that all of y'all are not about it. I'm not saying that at all, because I know some people are going to come up and be like, I would do it. That's great. I'm not talking to you. Who I am talking about is all them white women that sat there and looked at her do that. Look at her get dragged out. Even the ones that thought it was not okay. Because we are now in an administration that is going to continue to do shit like this. We are in an administration that's going to start inflicting violence against people. Everyday people. When I start to see white women get treated like that, that shit fucking scares me. Because if they're going to treat white women like that, what you think they're going to do to me? What you think they're going to do to people that look like me? So what I'm saying is that if you see anybody having any kind of issue like that, being violently attacked like that, being drug out, having their rights extremely violated, you need to do something. You don't need to record it. You don't need to sit and be like, oh my God, that's so sad. What the hell? Oh my God. Do something. Because until you do something, this shit is going to keep happening. It is not enough to be like, oh my God, that's so bad. Record it and put it on social media. That made me so sad that that woman obviously was having her First Amendment right drugged and stomped all over. And everybody either just sat there and laughed or was like, oh my God. And honestly, the people that laughed, is that disgusting? Absolutely. But the people that sat there, knew it was wrong and just recorded it and looked at it happen, those are the people that pissed me off the most. I need y'all to stand on business because we are dealing with a fucking coup right now. Do y'all understand this shit? We are dealing with people that are going to start inflicting more violence on each other. And if they think they can do it and get away with it, then they are going to continue to do it to more and more people. If you see a fellow woman of any kind, but even a white woman getting toe up like that, you need to fight for her ass, okay? Because until you do that, a lot of black women are not going to be comfortable fighting with you. Because a lot of black women will not fight with y'all until y'all are able to fight with each other. Because if you won't stick up for your own women that look like you, what does that mean for us? And my thing is, I want us to work together. We have to do that. And the big thing that is going to have to happen for us to get out of this really fucked up position we're in right now is everybody's going to have to be uncomfortable. There are some vulnerable populations within our overall population in this country that are more susceptible to violence than others. And that can look many different ways. It's not just racial. It's not just ability. It's not just financial. There's so many different ways that can take place. But that is why community is so important. Because when one group of people or one person can't do it, another person steps in to fill their place. So I need y'all to lock in and recognize that just looking at some shit like that happening and being like, oh my God, that's so bad, is not enough. You have to do something. That shit, you need to be pissed off, y'all. You need to be pissed off. Right now, they are literally staging a coup. They are literally replacing people in the military, heads of the military. Do y'all understand what that means? Stand up. Stand on business. I'm saying all of this with love. I'm saying all of this understanding that there's nuance. Understanding that there's a gray area, understanding that not in instances like that, not everyone is physically going to be capable of doing something in that particular situation, but somebody in that room is. Somebody. So when I say do something, whatever that needs to look like for you to do the best that you can to prevent what's happening, please do it. But right now, it is so grave what is happening in our government. I know that I come on here and I explain the ways that things are happening and we need to focus on what matters and all the other kind of stuff. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I constantly am looking at the news. I'm constantly digesting it. I work in communications. I analyze the fuck out of everything I'm looking at. I have so many people I have access to learn different aspects of things that I don't know about. And I'm telling y'all right now, we are losing our government. We are losing our democracy, okay? And that is a violent thing, unfortunately. And it is going to continue to happen if we do not do anything. No one is going to save you. No one is going to stop this from happening but us. We have to do something. Because yes, him posting that king picture is stupid as fuck. But the fact, like I said, that they're replacing people in the military should have everybody shook to their fucking bones. And the only way that we are going to get past this and work to fight this shit is by working together. Is it cheesy? Yes. Is it cliche? Yes. Is it cheesy and cliche for a reason? Yes. Because we literally have to. And it's across the board. It is white people, y'all gotta work together. White, black, people of color, across the board. All of us, every person of ability, every person in each level of socioeconomic class needs to work together to stop the shit that is happening right now. And if y'all don't get it together, we are losing a lot of odds of anything actually working. And right now, Black women have a lot of distrust in y'all. Justifiably so. And you have to think about these protests that are happening. They're actually happening. Guess who's not being like beat to death? Guess who's not being shot? Guess who's not going and being put in jail en masse? Because we're not there. Because we're not there. There's not as many Black people. I'm not saying there's no Black people, but we're not there as much. So it's not getting the same response. So for us to feel even vaguely comfortable doing something and putting ourselves at risk, we have to see that everybody is working together. And I literally mean everyone. And on to my Black people that may be watching this full video, if we see them doing the right thing, even if it took them for fucking ever to do it, we need to work with that. Please don't shame that shit. Because we have to do this together. Y'all, we are literally a month or two away from losing our democracy. The first step to doing anything about any of this is to connect with the people around you. It is to fight for the people around you. Find the small ways that you can do something about what you're seeing that is wrong. Because if we don't do something now, we may not have the chance to do it in the future. And if you want inspiration on what to do after that, look at the civil rights movement or go out of the country and look at what they did.